Good morning, everybody. Jason here. Welcome to another episode of 2025, the year of gains. You're going to want to stick around for the workout on this one. After we finish this car talk, I'm going to absolutely obliterate these legs. So it's going to be a good one. You're going to want to stick around for that one. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm trying to get hyper-focused on the destruction of my legs that is about to happen. And it's probably not a good idea because the next couple days at work are going to be rough. But we don't put our goals, our dreams in the back seat. We put them right up here in the front seat next to us. So that's what we're going to do. Super motivated for this one. Been thinking really hard about exactly how this workout's going to go. And I have a pretty good idea. Got a good amount of sleep. I feel rested. Almost done drinking my pre-workout. So we're feeling pretty good right now. Yeah, we'll be going to the gym near my house because I did get some extra sleep, which is kind of cutting into the time I had to drive. I was thinking about going to one a little bit farther away, but it is what it is. So we're hitting legs. Going to hit quads hard first. No, we're going to hit hamstrings. So over the past year, experimenting with different types of workouts and stuff, for me, if I hit hamstrings hard, I do leg extensions, something like that, and then do heavy squats, it just seems to work out better for me. And sometimes it's just a little bit different for everybody is what I'm trying to say, but really trying to dial this diet in too. I'm trying to find that balance of losing weight but not losing muscle. So we're trying to aim somewhere around 2,000 calories. I don't want to go too far below that because we're kind of getting to where fat wouldn't be the only thing I was losing, and that's not exactly what I want. There's definitely some cravings along the way. Something I do to fight like sugar cravings to try to stay in my calorie deficit is getting some rice cakes and some sugar-free jelly or some low sugar jelly, something like that. I think that's really going to help you kind of kill those cravings. And if you don't have a strategy to kill those cravings, then you're probably going to struggle a little bit, right? So definitely something to keep in mind. But something that's kind of clicked with me recently is when you're working out, there's all kinds of different ways to go about it. You can go super heavy, you can go super light, focus on tension. But the thing I've noticed the most is there's just so many different ways to train. As long as you're going hard, if you're doing moderate weight and you're focusing on time under tension, you're going to get results. If you're going really heavy and you're just giving it everything you have, you're going to get results. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. But it's just the nature of this thing. So for breakfast, I did have some rice cakes and sugar-free jelly. Dang, it's pretty crowded today. We'll see how much filming I can get done. I've been kind of considering backing up on the filming of every little thing I do in the gym, but we'll see. Looks pretty crowded today. So I took my creatine. I took my, I like to take the creatine gummies because I'm already drinking pre-workout. And once I start adding the creatine powder and drinking that too, I'm just going to pee all day. That's what's going to happen. So I like to use the gummies. I'll take a multivitamin because I don't eat enough vegetables, but you still need to eat your vegetables, not just a multivitamin. And then my pre-workout, fish oil for the fat content, the omega-3 fatty acids. So those are certain things that are pretty important. Got me a little list here, a little cheat sheet to help me talk through this stuff. Let's see. Don't want to talk about that. And I'm open to you guys sending me stuff to talk about. Like, it's cool. What am I listening to lately? I mean, I have a playlist that's got anywhere from, I got NF on there. I listen to him some. Falling in Reverse. I Prevail. Who else am I listening to a lot? Like, I'll just have to show you guys my playlist one day. Maybe I'll do that next time. Who is inspiring me right now? Well, Mr. Sam Sulek. I'm sure you can tell he's inspiring me because I'm kind of doing similar content. I'm doing these little car talks, going through my workout. I definitely don't have the confidence like him to sit there with a tripod and just talk to it. And I don't know how to get past the picking up of the audio in the background either. So that's something that I'm not really sure. That's a section here for viewer questions. So if you guys got questions or things you want to know about my training, just, shoot, just ask me a question. I'll answer it the best I can. Why I still do this? Man, this is a good idea. I can use ChatGPT or something and get it to ask me a bunch of questions to answer for you guys. And once you guys start giving me more questions, I'll just sit here and answer them. Why I still do this? Man, I remember in my 20s when I was training pretty hard and I didn't really know a whole lot about training or diet, and I was starting to get good results. It became pretty addictive. I took up running for a while. The running was fun. I definitely can't run like I used to. I'm getting a little older now. But yeah. And then, I got married and it's fine. I got a little lazy as far as training, but here recently I'm like, man, I'm about to turn 40 years old and I have not accomplished what I wanted to. So it was just a lot of reflecting. And the thing about it is, for the most part, I thought I knew what I needed to do. And, I had the basic premise down. I knew I needed to be in a calorie deficit, needed to train hard and eat a certain amount of protein, but I wasn't familiar with using a food scale and stuff like that. That's why watching other people do it really inspired me. So that's definitely something that's helping me. But yeah, I've got into a pretty good groove. I was in a pretty bad situation where I was drinking a lot, wasn't training hard, wasn't watching what I was eating. And I got up to 210 pounds, not a good 210 pounds. I had this big old belly. And every once in a while I'll show a before and after. If you scroll through my shorts, I post way too many shorts, so I need to cut back on that. But if you scroll far enough, it's like day 1 versus day 284 or something is what it's called. You can see my transformation. But yeah, I just made it a goal that in my 40s, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. And I'm going to keep on grinding. I'm going to keep on pushing, and I'm absolutely going to get that. But yeah, I'm going to get in there. I might record some stuff. I might not. I'm really going to focus on my training, I think. Maybe I'll commit to, recording at least one exercise or something for now and just kind of play with the content like this. Let's get in there, get these legs warm, and get after it. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys, that was a solid leg workout. So I pulled up some questions on here to kind of answer, try to engage with you guys a little bit better. How do you feel physically right now? I feel amazing. I feel tired. I feel pretty tired, but I feel pretty amazing. The workout was solid. It was pretty exhausting. I did some heavy squats. So overall, I feel tired, but I feel good. What was the most challenging part of today's workout? The squats, guys. So I did some heavy squats, went up to 205, which doesn't really sound like a lot to some people. Some of you beasts out there that are squatting 4 plates and crap like that. But for me to work up to that, and I do put it at the end of my workout. And the reason I put it at the end, so I've tried over and over to start with squats, and just my legs just don't agree with it. So I put them at the end. So my workout was, so I started with hamstring curls. I warmed up like I always do. I did 3 working sets there, really focusing on the squeeze. I did 3 sets of RDLs. I did 3 sets of leg extensions, and then I worked up to the squats. And when I do squats, I try to make them quad focused because I just separate hamstrings and quads. It's just what works for me when I train legs. But I'll put a plate back there and I keep my feet close together and lean forward a little bit. This puts a lot more tension on your quads and you're able to activate your quads a lot better. So I did 3 sets there. My first set was just 135, 12 reps. Great starter. And I did 185. I think I'll have to look at the video again, but I think I did 12 reps at 185, which I haven't done before. And then I upped it to 205, 6, 7 reps. But I really dug deep on those squats and it felt amazing. So a lot of times when you're challenged and you give it a good effort, but you don't push through, you're okay with it. But when you're really faced with that adversity, like that weight is bearing down on you and you can get another rep, but you rack the weight, it sucks. But when you can get another rep, you go down, you bust it out, and then you do another, like, man, you feel invincible when stuff like that happens. So it was the most challenging, but it was also the most rewarding part of the workout. Did you hit your numbers, reps, weight, time? I mean, I don't really, I guess I aim for around 12 reps. And the weight varies. It just depends on how I feel that day. One day you'll be able to squat 2 plates for 12 reps. And then next week you come back, you might only be able to do 8. Like, you can't get so wrapped up in the numbers and the reps. What you really need to focus on is the effort you're putting in. And effort is different based on your fatigue level. That's just how I feel about that one. Was there anything that felt off or surprisingly easy? No, nothing really felt off. Felt good. I wouldn't say the squats felt easy, but the fact that I was able to hit 12 reps at 185, that felt pretty good. So that was kind of surprising. Mental and emotional check-in. This should be interesting. What was your mindset going into the workout? Did it shift during or after? So my mindset going in was I was going to go hard today. I mean, that's going to be my mindset most days. I went in there with that mindset and I kept that mindset throughout the entire workout. And I felt like, so RDLs, I felt like I went heavier than I usually do. And I really think I nailed the form better than I ever have there. So overall, it was a 10 out of 10 workout. So my mindset was good going in. My mindset leaving is even better, knowing that I went in there with that mindset that I was going to push myself, and I'm leaving knowing that I did push myself. So those are all wins right there. What kept me motivated during today's session? I mean, I don't think it's really about motivation. I think it's more about the discipline that you develop over time when you're going to the gym regularly. You know what you need to do and you go in there and do it. But of course, I think listening to some music, some of your favorite music, is definitely going to keep you going. And just knowing that the effort you're putting in now over a long period of time is going to add up into something greater. I think that's definitely something that motivates me and keeps me going. Did you learn anything new about yourself or your limits today? Absolutely. I'm telling you, those squats were amazing. I definitely learned a lot about myself on those squats. I learned that I can push through when things get hard. And I learned that I'm stronger than I think, and I think you're stronger than you think too. That you can push through things when they get challenging. And yeah, I mean, even the RDLs, going heavier on those, I learned that I can fix my form there, that I can push myself through that and really get a good amount of activation in my hamstrings. Next section, recovery and nutrition. How do you plan to recover from today's session? Sleep, meals, stretching. I don't do a lot of stretching. I probably should. I am getting pretty tight. As far as sleep, I get as much sleep as I can. Optimum, I know, is around 7 or 8 hours, but that's just not always realistic with me. And I'm always on the fence of, should I get those extra hours of sleep and skip the gym, or should I continue to go every day? And there are occasions where I do get 8 hours of sleep, but it's usually around 6. And I think that's about the borderline. Like if I'm only getting 4 or 5, my workouts are going to suffer, my recovery is going to suffer, and I'm just not going to get all the results I want. So I do aim for about 6. And meals, I try to stay in a range, right? Between 1,800 calories and 2,500 calories. I try to get 150 grams of protein, 75 grams of fat, and I fill the rest with carbs. The reason I do that, you need the fat to, keep you from losing muscle during a cut, and it helps with testosterone. I just know that I need it, so I get it. Carbs are good for your water retention in your muscles. It gives you energy. It gives your body something to burn other than muscle. And protein, self-explanatory. You have to get enough protein if you want to build muscle. It's pretty simple. The meals I try to eat, I try to eat 6 eggs every morning, lean meat, lunch, dinner, some type of carb, some type of fat, like olive oil, cheddar cheese. The protein sources can be ground beef, they can be chicken, they can be ground turkey. It just goes on and on. It's just about balance. There's not a certain diet I'm on. I just try to hit those numbers. What's your post-workout meal or shake look like? A lot of times I don't immediately have anything to eat, but what I'll do before I go to the gym is I'll have my rice cakes, and sometimes I'll have my eggs before, sometimes I'll have it after. I don't think it's important, but as long as I'm hitting my numbers every day, I think I'm good. Did your nutrition earlier today affect your performance? Of course. You gotta have some type of carb source before you go into the gym. For me right now, it's been these rice cakes with sugar-free jelly. I have that. I have my pre-workout, my creatine, my multivitamin, my fish oil, and I'm good to go. Like, that's something I struggled with for a long time too. Like, what do I eat before I go to the gym? Keep it light, some type of carb source. Go in there and kill it. Try to eat something afterwards or within a couple hours, and I think you're good. Strategy and progress. How does this workout fit into your overall goal, cutting, prep, etc.? It fits into gaining some freaking meat on my legs. Like, I want giant legs, so I'm going to keep on killing legs. Cutting, like, I really need to nail my nutrition, and I'm not. And I know if I'm really, really cutting, it's going to be kind of hard to go that heavy on squats. Because yesterday was Easter, I had a lot of extra food in my system, so that's something to consider. I probably won't perform that well on my next leg workout if I'm really trying to be in a cut calorie deficit. Did you make any progress compared to last week? Absolutely. I killed it on legs today. I beat all my numbers. Like, it was just a crazy good leg day. Is there anything you'll tweak next time? That's a hard question to answer. That's an in the moment thing. When you're warming up, that's why it's so important to warm up. That's when you tweak stuff, right? You're just listening to your body. You're going through the motions. You're trying to see how your body feels. And that's when you make those adjustments. Content and community. What advice would you give someone during this workout for the first time? Go hard. I mean, it's not the first time I've said that. I'm going to say it every time. Go hard. Push yourself. You're stronger than you think. You can do a lot more than you think you can. So, what questions do you want your viewers to answer in the comments? Did you work out today? Did you go hard today? What can I do to improve my channel? What do you like this kind of setting? I think I'm really enjoying it because I feel like I'm opening it up and my personality is really coming out. I'm not trying to force myself to say anything. So this is probably what it's going to look like for a while. This is pretty good. I like this. Even if I ask these same questions every day, I'll have a different answer, right? So, I mean, that's about it, guys. Solid leg day. Looking forward to what the future holds. I'm going to keep on pushing it. I'm going to dial this physique in. I really want to see some vascularity in these legs right here. And I think that's coming before too long. But appreciate you guys joining me as always. Don't let that dreamer die. Keep the grind alive. Never, ever give up on yourself. See you guys next time.